Hello everyone. So we're joining you from a completely different place. We're actually in our bedroom, which is downstairs.
In the boudoir.
The boudoir. Now we thought we'd do it because we were going to do it separate, but actually there's just no point, is there? We might as well do it together.
Best way, always do it together, never alone.
Very true.
Yes.
So today we'll just, I know that some people are going to be bobbing on. Yeah, literally 1 minute past 6.
That's fast, that one though.
There's Nathan. Hey Nathan, my darling. We're just having a brew at the minute. Yeah, so we're just coming from this from a different approach really, because what you might not know, and which I'm about to tell you, is that although me and Andy have been together for 4 years, we don't or haven't really discussed, have we, the ins and the outs, and we've covered a few bits about your weight loss. But actually I think this was probably one of the reasons why we haven't spoken about it, because we didn't know that this was going to happen. We were going to build this this page, this forum, this group. I shouted at you before, it's not a page, it's a group.
It is not a page, it is a group, get that right.
Yeah. And you know, one of the big things that we know that can affect mental health, certainly from my perspective, meeting Andy has helped me a lot, is when I was on medication I did put a lot of weight on. And you would think by, you know, sort of counterbalancing, you've got, you know, poorly mind and you're really struggling, yet you then get onto medication and you start to level out, but then you pile weight on, you are just hit with this double-ended sword. And I can understand that it's heartbreaking for people because they're trying to get themselves back on an even keel with their positivity, yet you then pile weight on and you start to deteriorate because you're worried about your appearance, and
Just starts the vicious circle then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the trouble.
But Andy, you know, when I met Andy, it was like, no way, that's not you. And it's funny actually, because you showed me that picture that we've got on here, haven't we, of you and as your biggest, and then with your kilt on for your dad's wedding. And people were saying, they were challenging, that's not you, that can't be you. And the funniest thing was, we said back, well, actually, look at the tattoos. And somebody said, well, they're not even on the same arm. Because that's because there was a reflection in the mirror on the other picture. So if you look closely, you will see.
It is me. All me.
So I'm going to hand over to Andy.
You need to ask the questions.
Yeah, but you obviously predominantly know the story and whatnot. Yeah. So, how did it start?
What, my weight gain or just my journey or what?
Your weight gain.
My weight gain. Well, I've always been big. I was like a big boy, even when I was like in school and primary and all that. I was always big. Growing up, it was the same. It was strange though. It was one of them. I think because my ma was a feeder. And, you know, it was...
Was that her way of comfort?
No, it's her way, like, aye, kind of showing you love. There you go. Thank you, Beck. All right. And so, naturally, like, growing up, you just, like, eating. And then I moved into England when I was 15. You know, still big lad, obviously. Just Scottish lad, and then I just kept eating. It was like comfort eating was my thing, you know, when I moved in, because it was like... I was going to say,
did you do that because you missed home?
Yeah, I was gutted when I moved in here. Missed all my mates and everything like that. So you just like turned to that. That was my go-to thing. Yeah, and I was bigger, started working, obviously start earning your own money, and you think, I can go and buy what I want. I can go and eat what I want now and all that.
But you were still quite active though, weren't you?
Yeah.
You played football, didn't you?
Yeah, I used to play football.
Yeah.
You know, I used to like go on my bike and all that as well. I'm what some people used to call a fit fat guy, because my resting heart rate is naturally low. I'm running about 52, and even, you know, like even at my biggest it was like that as well. So yeah, it was just like that. I just kept, I could buy what I want, eat what I want, and then the worst it was, I started working, as you know, as a doorman.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was about 19. So you used to do the doors, and then you'd be finishing at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, going to kebab shops, kebab on the way home and all that as well.
What would you eat typically?
Just what majority of the time, like for a kebab shop, it was like a large mixed kebab. Of that, portion of onion rings as well, and loads of it.
I remember you telling me once that you were able to eat like a family-sized bucket, and you were to like drink a whole bottle. Was it like a litre bottle?
The 2 litre bottles. Basically, like the family feast in KFC. I could demolish one of them neighbour. You know what I mean? Just like you get like the 16 piece or whatever. So
yeah.
So I mean, that was like for me. That was just my thing, just eating, and then could have a drink as well.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it was. I could drink a lot.
Well, you can drink a lot now anyway, can't you?
Yeah.
You drink, being a Scotsman, oh God, he drinks whiskey and a beer. You chase the beer with whiskey, don't you? And I'm like, oh, whoa, how do you do it? But it just is a natural thing. You're not, you're not aggressive or nasty or horrible with it. You don't...
stupid. Fall asleep.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it any better. Oh, the funniest thing is though, I will have to share videos of you when I think you did exceed how much you drank, because it was Christmas and
Christmas
and we played a game. It was hilarious. It was that retractor game and you couldn't get it in your mouth, and I was crying laughing. Yeah. But yeah,
so back to the weight thing. So my weight just crept up and up and up. I got to my heaviest. My heaviest was 30 stone, and the thing for me, I went through, as you know, like my sister died in 2006. She was only 26. She died of cancer. So, that really hit me hard as well. And again, that's when, I turned to food. And then that caused, after my sister had died and everything like that, my mum was an alcoholic. So, she kind of went in a downward spiral with her health, because of what happened. So then my mum and dad had split up, and that was hard as well. And then so I was kind of like trying to look after my mum. I was trying to work 2 jobs, and just trying to do this, and all the time my weight was just going up and up and up, and it was just like I say, that was my go-to thing. It was just my comfort. My food. I mean, in my bedroom, like when I lived at home and all that, it was to be honest, it was shocking. The amount of like takeaway stuff and all that and things, it was just like, wow, it was just a real wake up call.
And I know now that you never sit down, you never stop cleaning up, and I think is that because of the trigger, if you were to see something out of place, because I do shout at you and I'm like, just leave it, just sit down. But do you think that's because of the trigger from the previous?
Definitely, because of how it used to be.
Yeah.
But so it got like to that bad, and the picture you've put on there when I met John Hartson at a Sportsman's Do. He's like one of my footballing idols. Met him, cracking guy. But seeing that picture was the first time that I was like actually genuinely embarrassed, and I was just like, shit, it's that's how bad it is. And that was the picture for me that's I had to do something about it. I thought, nah, I can't go on like this. And I'd been to see the doctor, and he turned in and he told me like I had the onset of type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
It was just one of them. I thought, diabetes, you
can handle
loads
it.
of people have got it. And then I actually sat down one day and read about it, and I never realised how serious that was. And I thought, God, could lose a leg here, lose my eyes and all sorts. So start panicking. I thought, right, I need to do something.
Yeah.
So, then that was it. So I thought, right, I need to go and see a dietitian and, whatever else. So,
but just to backtrack from before that, how did being so big make you feel?
It was horrible. I mean, it was, you get judged every day by people in society. They just look at you and, they mock you, they bully you, you get the name calling. I say, you just get total strangers commenting on how you look and that and the other, especially say if you go somewhere like an you can eat buffet and that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the eyes are on you all the time and you're just so consciously aware, but then you go into like your shell and you just eat and eat and eat. And then like you go back home and you just same again. So we just, it's just a horrible thing. Like I said, the way people treat you, it was just a real eye opener, like from the difference between now and back then. So yeah, I mean, my thing is, like I say, I suffered really bad with depression after my sister had died and after everything with my mum and that. I hit a really, really low point, and back in like it was August 2012, I tried to take my life because everything was just on top of me. I was unhappy with my weight, I was unhappy with my life, my lifestyle and that, and I just had enough, and I thought that was, the best way. So, I'd done that. Didn't happen, still here, thankfully. And then, it was like I said, just lying there in the hospital, I thought, right, I need to do this. This is it, obviously there's a reason, it never happened. So sort yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, that was pretty much when I really started my journey.
Yeah.
My dietitian, I went and saw her. She was fantastic. My doctor, he was great. He backed me all the way. So for about 12 months, I saw a dietitian, and I changed what I ate, how I ate, and when I ate.
Mm-hmm.
And I started doing exercises and walking more and all that as well. I even sold my car at one point.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, get rid of it. That's it, done.
Yeah.
And then so it was that, and then things started changing slowly, and started noticing the weight dropping off me, and kept going. And then I said, listen, I want to go for a gastric bypass to the doctor, and they're like, well, okay then, just keep going as you are, we'll see you again. So after about 12 months from seeing my dietitian, they turned around and said, listen, you've lost 4.5 stone, you're doing great, do you want to keep going as you are, or do you still want this operation? I said, no, I really want it, because in the past...
Had they sort of tried to emphasise for you not to go for it?
Yeah, I mean... Yeah. They were backing me and all that, but they said, what you're doing now is, fantastic. Mm-hmm. And that, just keep it up. But like I said before, in the past, I'd done all sorts of diets. I'd done Atkins diet, cabbage soup diet, low calorie diets, and anything, tried that. And yeah, I'd lost some weight previously, but I'd always put it back on.
They're just not the answer, are they?
It's not like a fad diet. These diets don't really work. No. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, they're called diets for a reason. It's better just living a healthier lifestyle. Yeah. So, like I said, I'd done that, and then I eventually got the phone call. I remember it, just saying, yeah, you've been accepted. This is the date of your operation.
God, but your heart went
I broke down. Yeah, I just broke down in tears. I was just dead happy. I was like, oh, I can't believe it. And then when it became the day of the operation, I was just like, I was nervous. I'd never had anything major before. So I never even researched, what a bypass was, what it included and all that. I thought, I don't want to know, I just wanted to go in, get it done. So when I had it done, August 2013, and then, I was in hospital for 3 days.
When did you have it done? August what?
August the 5th.
No, you didn't.
It was the 6th. Your birthday's the 5th, isn't it?
You're just giving me birthday away.
Yeah, your birthday's the 5th, it was the 6th I had it. So I knew it was around about then. So it's, so it's 8 years this year, and, it's been the best thing that I've ever done.
What I want you to just emphasise though, and is it wasn't easy to get through those 12 months before your surgery, was it?
No, definitely not. And it was hard, because not only did I need to see a dietitian, I had to see a psychologist and, other people and all that to make sure it was the right thing. It's not just a snap decision. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them things, I'll go and get this done. Because, people can get it done, go private and get it done within a month.
Yeah.
But then, the stories, I'm in a few, support groups for people with weight loss or looking at weight loss surgery and this, that and other. and people just get it done, pay private, get it done, and then they're regretting it after about a month because they don't realise the implications if you don't follow everything properly. You know, and unfortunately, as with all surgery, there is a chance something could go wrong, and it doesn't work, you know, for everybody. But for me, you know, I followed everything to the letter, and it's
You were in that mindset, weren't you?
yeah, and it's worked perfect for me. I mean, my lowest weight I went down to was like 12.5 stone.
Yeah. We'll get a picture actually and put that on the group because.
But some people say, you know, I look gaunt, I look ill.
Yeah, I agree.
So
yeah.
I've managed to put a wee bit back on, and I'm around about the 15 stone mark.
Yeah.
And I'm happy, I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
And that, you know, I have had days where I thought, God, I've put on weight, you know, is this the start of it again? Is this a trigger for me and all that? But, you know, I am mindful what I eat the majority of the time.
So, just to point out as well, thank you so much for your wonderful comments. That's so lovely. If you've got any questions during this live, throw them in the comments box. Absolutely, please do. Just to take you back, I remember there was something that you hadn't explained to me that your body reacts to called dumping syndrome.
Yeah, get dumping syndrome.
And I didn't know what that was. And I saw you in this daze and, you know, I was like, wow, what's happened? And were you okay? And I was really quite worried about you, wasn't I? Just explain what dumping syndrome is.
Yeah. Well, dumping syndrome is been described a lot like, you know, when the diabetics, like the blood sugars look like kind of drop. I get really cold, but I sweat. My heart starts racing and starts shaking and I'm feeling sick. And I just need, like, I think it's some sugar or I just need something in me. I tend to eat, like, either a little square of chocolate or a banana.
Your heart goes as well, doesn't it?
And my heart is racing, you know, really bad. And like I said earlier, with my heart rate naturally low, you know, I can feel it and it's pretty scary. So it's, you know, that tends to happen when I've had too much, like, sugar or something like that at some point, if I've eaten something too sweet. And then my body's just, like, rejecting it. So it's like, as they call it, dumping syndrome, it's dumping it out of you. And then it gives you an awful stomach.
Best thing with Andy, I always know when he's had too much to eat because he starts to sneeze. Yeah. We don't know why, do we? No. Why that is.
When I've like eaten, it tends to be pasta or bread, kind of still fills me up dead quick. And when I get full, I start having this mad wee sneezing fit. And that's it. And she just sits there laughing at me saying, yeah, you're full now. And I'm like, yeah, it's bad. And
it's alright, because if it's a piece of chocolate cake, I'm like that. I can work my way in.
But when I first, after my surgery, I think it was after 10 days I had my stitches out, and then like I say, I was just in the mindset, right, this is a new start for me. So I'd started walking more than that and started just doing some light exercises at home. You know, so, because I wanted to lose, you know, as much as possible, make this work. And like I say, just after a few months, the difference in just seeing, you know, the weight coming off me and just the difference, you know, in my clothes and all that, buying more clothes, you know, it was great. So, you know, it's, and, you know, I've done things that, you know, I've never done before. I think it was about maybe a year after it. I'd done a cycle trip for the east to west coast of Scotland. It was like 350 miles in 5 days. You know, so doing things like that, it's just amazing, you know, memories I'll have forever. And then it's like down to the small things, like going on holiday, like with Amy and just sitting there in a plane with a seatbelt on, not using an extended seatbelt, not taking up like 2 seats, and just being comfortable and things like that.
And the one thing, do you remember when we went on holiday to Menorca?
Yeah.
You would not take your t-shirt off, would you?
I was so conscious of it, yeah.
And I just said to him, if anybody wants to give you the impression or the disgust or the comments of snidity and things like that because of loose skin, then they can jog on as far away as they possibly can. Because at the end of the day, it should be a celebration, and I'm proud of you. And you did it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I've done it, and like I said, I was just so conscious.
You got burnt, didn't you?
I know. So it's but the thing, you know, that amazed me is like when I done it in the pool and we were talking to people and told them about my surgery, they're like, "But you don't look like you've had surgery." They said, "You're not what we expect, you know, to lose that." Because I know some people suffer really bad with excess loose skin, but like I say, I was pretty fortunate because, you know, I
I was
exercised.
going to say, was it the exercise that helped it?
The exercise, and I, you know, concentrated. I was like consciously thought, you know, I need to do something. So I mean, I have got, you know, a bit kind of inside my thighs and a little bit in my stomach, but you know, it's not really that bad. It's something, you know, it doesn't really bother me. So you know, that it's like I say, people say, you know, where's all your loose skin in it? And I'm like, well, it's there. You know, it's.
And that's the thing as well, when, you know, we look at magazines and we watch the TV and we look at these beautiful supermodels and things like that, beauty is from within, that's what I say. And it genuinely is, not a cliche, it's not the personality is the beautiful one, you know, it is, it really is. And, you know, although I'm very lucky, I do find Andy very attractive and, you know, I love you to pieces, but you have got the most beautiful heart. And, you know, I can't deny it, telling anybody that. And, you know, it's not just for what you look like, it's you as a person. And what you've achieved is just phenomenal, and you should be so proud of yourself.
I mean, that's it. Like I say, to me, you know, it's a life-changing thing, you know. And like I say, going back to just the simple things like being able to just walk into like a normal shop and just buying clothes just off the hanger, whereas before I had to like order them online, and when I was bigger there wasn't really as many places online that you could buy it, so you had to go to like specialist shops like Big and Tall and that, and you know, and it was embarrassing. And like I say, it's just to be able to go somewhere, pick something up, throw it on, that's it, it's great. But the biggest thing for me, and the day I had my surgery, I was in the hospital and I heard this voice like saying, Andy, and it was somebody that I've known, one of my friends, I've known her for years, and she'd had the surgery the day before, and it was just a total coincidence. So anyway, we were talking, then like we kept in touch obviously through our journey and that. And then she said, how'd you find it? And I told her, I said, it's great, best thing ever. And I said, how about you? She said, yeah. But she said, you know the best thing is, Andy? She says, what? She says, I feel invisible. I said, what do you mean? She said, whenever I'm out eating, I'm just eating a sandwich, I could be in the bus, nobody's staring at me, nobody's thinking, look at her, look at this. And I thought, do you know what? You're right there. Just, you know, nobody's judging you when you're picking something up and eating it and that. And it's crazy. And it's just like I say, it's how society like has this perception about you. Just because of your size, you know, just people shouldn't be judged. You should never judge anybody anyway. Unfortunately, we do. You know, it's natural. Yeah. But, you know, like...
And the reason why we judge, actually, just to touch upon, it's a quick instinct, it's a natural instinct, and it's a fear instinct, it's a survival technique, so we judge very quickly. Yeah. But it should remain there, it shouldn't be taken to the next level. Yeah. We've all got opinions. But if they're hurtful, we should remain them to ourselves, because you do not know what somebody's suffering and struggling with, especially to be so big. You know, it's not a crime to be a big person. So let's stop treating people like it is, and to stop sort of the one thing that, you know, I absolutely can't stand is like chauvinism, and that's like within women and within men, the arrogancy of, oh no, I want the six pack and I want the muscles. But if you do want somebody like that, then be prepared to be like that, you know, but also at the same time be respectful of those that are trying to get to that, or whether they just want to be in a healthier place themselves. And, you know, me and Paul spoke about this the other day, to eat your meal slower, to literally have one mouthful at a time, and to chew it, well then you'll start to listen to the signals of your body. Yeah. So, yeah.
That was one thing, like, you know, like I said earlier, I changed how I ate, what I ate, and when I ate. Yeah. That was the big thing for me. My dietitian told me, he said, listen, when you're eating, they reckon it's like between 20 to 25 like chews before you swallow. Just take your time, take a bite, put your fork down or whatever, chew, chew, chew and chew. It's hard to get used to, but it was a massive difference.
Yeah.
Because you feel fuller, because it's giving your brain time to tell your stomach, right, that's enough.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like some people, I used to be like a fast eater. So
Like
I used
Dyson.
I just used to just go down, and then before you know it, you've, like I said, demolished about 3 meals.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, I'm a wee bit full here.
Yeah.
So it's just, take your time. But, going back to that, when people, overweight and all that, and what I used to get is when people used to, like, abuse me or whatever, like, you go home and you sit there and you break down, so, like, somebody, that could happen to somebody one day, and that could just be the final straw.
Yeah.
To somebody. So it's just, people need to be, mindful in that.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
Do you know, it's funny actually, because we were talking about this before. Do you think that you went to do the doors to give you some confidence because of your weight?
Well, I just got into it by pure chance, because there was on a night out, and a guy I used to work with was on the doors, and there was somebody kicking off him, and I just helped him out and just, like, put him on the flare, basically. So he's like, "You're getting a job with me in here." I was like, "Sound." So he just signed me up, and that was it, and I stuck it for about 13, 14 years, something like that.
But you were like a target though, weren't you then?
Okay,
yeah, you were like the beacon, weren't you? Or, well, you know, he's a, let's just say it right, he's a fat bastard, let's give him some shit.
Aye, and Austin Powers didn't help with his character, by the way.
Oh, yeah, no, I just realised that, getting my belly. Yeah.
The amount of stick I got for that, no. But no, seriously, that was it, because I was on the doors. But, luckily enough, I mean, I'd like to think I was alright at the job, but I was nice, do you know what I mean? I was...
Firm but fair.
Yeah, I met loads of people that I'm still friends with now, some fantastic people and that, and I loved it. It was a great job. But it's one of them, you move on. So
Andy, in terms of anybody wanting to go down the same route of the weight loss, what would you advise them to keep them going?
Well, I would, like, speak to, your doctor, dietitian and that, and just avoid these, like, faddy diets, honestly. Just...
Save yourself a lot of money as well.
Yeah, just save yourself a lot of money. A good, healthy lifestyle, we can all just... They're going about these things like cheat days and this, that and the other. Don't look at it as a cheat day. Look at it as a treat day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Rather than a cheat. Because you're not cheating yourself out of anything.
Yeah.
You're treating yourself. You worked hard. You deserve this. It's a wee treat for you. So just enjoy yourselves. Eat properly. And that's it. By exercise where you can.
Celebrating the small wins.
Yeah, that's it. Just look for the little victories. Don't expect things to happen just overnight.
Yeah.
Just gradually, like I say, just look for the little things, like, your clothes getting a wee bit looser and all that. Avoid the scales if you can.
Yeah.
And don't be concentrating on numbers, because that can eat away at you. So just, go out walking, go with your friends. If you've got your dogs, take them an extra walk. They'll love it as much as you. So it's, just meet up with friends.
I think one of the best things that I notice, and I'm noticing now through my own weight loss journey, is that I can breathe in as much as and a big air, and I can actually run. I mean, we joke so much about my female pug. She is a absolute Houdini in the service. If there was a first response, if there was something going on and needed some support, first response would come over a radio. And if she pegs it on her toes, I'll shout, "First response!" And these will go running after her. But actually now I can join in. And I feel as though I've got the capacity to be able to do it. And exactly. I'm not, like, falling on the floor in a mess.
Yeah, that's it. But, I mean, like I say, it's... Because it is for me, it was worthwhile and is worthwhile. Because now I can go and do things like, I hadn't been able to do before. You can go to, like, Alton Towers, theme parks and all that.
Go ape. In the harness,
Previously, when I'd been to Alton Towers, I was the big guy stood there holding all the bags, eating the hot dog. You know what I mean? While everybody's on the rides. But whereas now, I'm there, I'm first one on. And that's it, I love it. And like I say, just it's things like that, they just make such a big difference and just make you feel that much better. Yeah. So, it's, like I say, for me, it's the best thing I've ever done. Would I recommend it to anybody? Yeah, I would. It worked for me, like I say, but do your research, see what you want to do. But, you know, like I say, it's anybody wants to know anything, anybody wants to message me private, Amy private, you know, if they don't feel comfortable talking about it openly, then I'll happily give you any guidance, advice, any tips.
That would be wonderful, Andy, to be honest, because we do know that bariatric surgery is becoming very limited. They did that. They had that big bariatric unit in Chester, and it's now no longer available. I know my mum works in the department with dietitians, and it's becoming extremely hard. So, you know, if we could incorporate sort of weight loss and support within, not necessarily actually the exercising, you know, we can leave that to other members of our Reach to Speak Out partnerships. And, you know, the lovely Dan is on live, and I know that they're looking at initiation for nutritional food and what the value is behind it. So the thing is, like, if we can all work together and we want something enough, we'll be able to achieve it. There's nothing that this group won't look at, and you know, if we have to do like a separate group or sideline that, you know, people can dip in and out of, if it means that that's going to give them that intense support rather than it just being a subject over 4 days, we'll be there. So, you know, we'll always be able to reach people that have got that specialised service and support. And I can't thank you enough.
No, so I mean, if I never had it done, you know, I wouldn't be sat here now. Amy wouldn't be as lucky as she is punching here. Do you know what I mean? But no, seriously, I'd never had the confidence to, you know, talk to anybody.
He tried it on first.
She got in contact with me first twice, chased me for ages. She did, and I gave in the end. Still here, you know. So yeah, and I wouldn't be such a hoot either.
Honestly, he won't be able to fit through the door next because of his head.
Yeah,
it won't be the size of him; it'll be his head because he's that big.
But I mean, it just changes everything. It just, you know, I've always had like the personality that I've got, but I used to be too embarrassed to either, you know, say things or do things and all that. But now, like, don't care.
I have to rein you in sometimes.
Yeah, she keeps telling me off for my memes. Not allowed to post them on here.
You can, but you've got to be approved first.
Not allowed. So anybody wants to see my memes, get in touch. They're great.
You're strong. A bad influence, you are. A really bad influence. So, no, but thanks, babe, for being so open and honest. And
anything.
But it's so lovely, though, because there's people that don't have the confidence to talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's the shame, I think, sometimes behind, oh, well, you did bariatric surgery, that's, like, easy.
Exactly.
But it isn't.
Like people say, it's the easy way and all that. It's not. It's not a quick fix. It's a lifestyle change, you know what I mean? Because this is it, you know, me, for the rest of my life, I've got to take, like, multivitamins and that. And it's, you know, it's no issue. I'd happily take a multivitamin, you know, every day for the rest of my life.
Oh, yeah, vitamin B deficiency, aren't you, B12?
Yeah, I get my vitamin B12 injection every 3 months. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I just got a comment after that. So, we've got the lovely Mandy who has just put, I've been in a programme for almost 12 months called The Soul Fed Women. It's a programme for addictive binge eating disorders. My problem started when my husband had an affair 17 years. Oh, Mandy, you are physically attractive. You're absolutely stunning. I know you might not feel that, but you genuinely are an absolute beauty. You shine like the brightest light ever. But, you know, if we can help you with anything extra along with that group, or we could get in touch with that group, that'd be amazing.
Do you know what? Like I say, just going about that there, like if anybody wants to, I don't know, get involved in like a walking group or something like that, whether it be dog walking or just us getting out in a group. You see people going out running and all that. You don't need to run. I can't run that far. You know what I mean?
No thanks.
In my job, I can sprint across a pitch and that's about it. You know what I mean? Then I'm blown. But honestly, if anybody, you know, just, we can meet in a place, you know what I mean? Just go for a walk, chat, and that's it. Yeah. Just have like that, you know, because sometimes when you're with somebody, just walking and talking, and that's it. You don't need to push each other. Yeah. Sometimes you can walk and talk and you don't realise how far you've gone. So, you know, just, if anybody wants to do it, my weekend's off. we'll come along, we'll bring the dogs, we'll meet up, and that's it. And well, Boris has sorted his stuff out, shall I say?
Old scarecrow.
Yeah, I know. We'll be getting out soon. We'll be allowed to go out without sneaking about. And the hairdresser's out there, by the way.
Actually, Mandy's a hairdresser. She's a barber.
Hi. But yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So yeah. So anybody, let's say, wants to know anything, get in touch. Either me, Amy, whoever. And ask away.
Do you know, I know you're my partner and everything, but thank you so much for your bravery.
It's alright. I'm a brave guy.
Amazing. Yeah, so do you know what? Weight loss and weight gain is a massive thing at the moment because of the fact that we've all been stuck in and the lockdown, and I'm absolutely happy. I've got 2 pugs that will run you ragged. If Maggie goes off on a little tootle, I'll shout first response, and you know, whoever gets to her first, it'll be like winning the game. She's a little shit. She likes bin men, so she likes to chase after the bin cart. So yeah, it's quite very, very interesting. Mandy is so welcome. You are lovely, and just like I say, the group is there, the platform's there. If those women in the group would like to share the group tomorrow on the mutual notice board, go for it. You know, whatever you guys are already involved with or believe would help the members of our group. On Fridays it's open to all. So yeah, but oh bless you. You are all amazing. And just keep smiling, keep sharing, keep supporting, and keep safe as well. And if you are in crisis in any way, shape or form, you know where we are. Just reach to speak out. Love you guys. Take it easy.
See you now. Bye-bye.
Bye.